Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Ministry of Truth. I am your only host on this show. This is going to be a really quick show. Where the fuck did my show go? Hang on a second, guys. It's going to be a really quick show, probably about 30-45 minutes. We're going to talk about a little issue from Toledo, Ohio. In a situation where, whether or not you're her real dad, her adoptive dad, her stepdad, who knows? The mother doesn't even know, or she'll lie about it. But, you're supposed to be your child's protector, not her executioner. What do I mean? Well, let's take a trip to Toledo, Ohio, onto Miami Street. After, geez, I forgot already, our music break.
What the fuck he saying? I'll be standing on the pavement. Pocket full of bullets, I ain't playing. I'ma pull up where he's staying. I ain't talking about vacation. That Mossberg pump have you pump faking. It's okay, disobey. This whole shit's in disarray. They can say what they may, I'd rather fight. It's a fade. Shit, we all gonna die, but you act like it's a race. Dumb cracker always bitching 308 will smash your face. Digging holes with my shovel, it's a spade. Hands always muddy, who want trouble, it's a grave. Loudest in the room, ain't been punched in the face. He just wanna talk, there ain't nothing else to say. Pocket full of bullets, drop me, I pull it, and you gon' hear that thing go bang. Go bang. You got a hole in your pocket, whole lot of nothing, and you ain't gonna do a damn thing. Yeah. Give a fuck about smoke, where's the forest fire? I'ma need a can of gasoline, blowtorch, and more lighters. Born up north, different climate, shit was violent. I never ran away, just stare it in the face and glorified it. So when you see me walking, I'ma let you get up close. I ain't never scared to bleed on the street or gravel road. If it's the hood or a small town bitch, I'm from both, and this shit's for all the crazy white boys that's trained to go. I'm talking roll call, penitentiary phone calls. Found out what he did for his bid and he got stole on. Cut open, buck 50, fuck with me, stuck quickly. You can't be my dog if you ain't walked through the mud with me. Digging holes with my shovel, it's a spade. Hands always muddy, who want trouble, it's a grave. Loudest in the room, ain't been punched in the face.
Oh. Well, damn. Welcome back. That was our quick music break. Now we're going to get a quick overview of the main topic of discussion. Quick couple news stories, and we're going to listen to an interview between I believe it was a mother and the aunt. My bad. It's the grandmother and aunt of this young child, Kimani Lateague. Now listen to this tragic story, and you'll see why some people just don't deserve to live.
13 Action News starts now with breaking news.
We continue to follow breaking developments in the case of a missing 13-year-old girl. Investigators finding a body on the second floor of an abandoned house on Miami Street in Toledo today and tonight. The coroner's office confirms
What up, LARP?
Kimani Lateague. Her father, Darnell Jones, is charged with murder in connection to her death. Court records show he has an open warrant for his arrest. We have team coverage tonight as 13 Action News reporter Lily Lowndes takes us into the discovery on Miami Street. Lily.
Yeah, Christian, family members of the 13-year-old Kimani Lateague were heartbroken as they gathered in front of an abandoned home on the east side earlier today. That's where police say they found her body.
The family of Kimani Lateague is in mourning. They were distraught on Monday.
This is a child. Where is she?
As a search for a missing teen
I want answers, and I'm not going to stop until I get them.
came to an end at this abandoned house on the corner of Miami and Wilmot. This is where Toledo police say they found a body on the second floor, a body they believe to be 13-year-old Kimani Lateague, the teen who has been missing for more than 1 week. Kimani's mother, Tiara Caston, said it's a place her daughter never should have been.
I have no idea. My
Sorry.
daughter, there's no reason my daughter would ever be over here. My daughter go to school, go home. Go to school, go home. She go play her basketball, come home.
Kasten lives in Cleveland. The last time she saw Kimani earlier this month, they played video games and caught up. Kasten said she did not know what she would do if she found out her daughter had died.
Yeah, her birthday's the 28th. She'll be 14.
A life cut too short as the Lucas County Coroner's Office identified the body found as
Angela?
Kimani Monday night. Police say the last person to see her was her father, Darnell Jones. Officers issued a warrant for his arrest for abduction. Jones previously told 13 Action News he last saw Kimani on March 16th when she was afraid to be home alone.
Came over here because she said that if it seemed like somebody was trying to break into the house.
Look at him
The
acting like he
abduction
didn't do
warrant said
shit.
that he's given inconsistent statements to detectives. Now, police have issued a murder warrant for Jones. Officers say Kimani was found with an apparent fatal injury. As the case continues, family members say they do not know what to think and are still searching for answers.
The coroner is set to do a full autopsy of Kimani's body tomorrow. Police are still looking.
So hear me out. The autopsy's already done. So she was hogtied, raped, had both of her hands cut off, and pretty much almost had her throat cut out. That's pretty fucked up. And that guy deserves a whole lot more than what he's gonna get.
For her father, Darnell Jones, on a murder charge. The family is planning a vigil for the teen tomorrow at the location her body was found. Christian.
Lily Lowndes reporting for us in studio. New video into our newsroom shows a dramatic situation as Kimani's grandmother's house. Our crew witnessing at least 2 people being taken away in handcuffs by Toledo police. One of the women is believed to be the grandmother. We called the Lucas County Jail to confirm, and at last check, she was not booked. According to
I just wish that when I was down here last that I had just taken her to Indianapolis with me, so this would have never happened.
We are still following the story of 13-year-old Kimani Lateague. Her body was found yesterday after days of searching.
Her father is charged with murder in her death. We've got team coverage
Dude, look at
tonight
this
on this
dude's
developing
head.
story. Silver Barker spoke with Kimani's aunt about this girl and the memories she leaves behind.
Michael
Hey,
Sandlin
Silver.
talked with school officials at Toledo Public Schools about Kimani and how she will be remembered by staff and students. Megan Hartnett spoke with an organization about how parents can talk to their kids about difficult and tragic topics. But first, we want to start with the news about Kimani's father, who is in the hospital right now in Columbus.
Yeah, let's get to that. We know tonight that her father, Darnell Jones, is in a Columbus hospital
Dude,
after
is
being
that
shot
Beavis?
by a SWAT officer in Columbus. It's still unclear tonight who fired first. Columbus police say he is expected to recover and no officers were injured. Police are not sure why.
Yo, he's
he
a
was in
fucking murder
Columbus, but
suspect. So what does it fucking matter if police shot first or not? I think I saw something about that too, LARP. I didn't really much into it, but yeah, I saw something like that yesterday.
but did confirm Columbus SWAT was looking into him for at least 2 days. Jones is already facing murder charges in Kimani's death. Her body was found yesterday in an abandoned and burned out home on Miami Street in East Toledo. Here is what police in Columbus had to say about the case.
When I heard about this case, this was an individual wanted for homicide out of Toledo. I called my union counterpart in Toledo. I said, hey, good news, we have your guy. Your guy committed a murder, chose to fled to our town. I'll tell you right now, the wrong town to come to if you murder somebody.
Bro.
Again, he is in the hospital after being shot. There is no word on when he will be brought back to Toledo. He is now also facing more charges out of Columbus.
We want to check in with Silver Barker. She's been keeping in touch with Kimani's family. Silver, you spoke to her aunt today.
Right, Kaylee and Jeff, Sanika Williams, who is one of the aunts of Kimani, tells me she wishes she would have taken Kimani with her where she currently lives in Indiana. She feels like maybe that could have prevented all of this and what they're currently going through right now. She tells me she had a close relationship with Kimani. She says Kimani was a very respectful girl and was never mischievous. Right now, Sanika says it's been a rough last few days for her, and the only person she's she's mad at is whoever did this. She admitted to me that she knows there is some drama between the family, but right now she's not picking sides. She just wants justice
Yeah,
for her
put the
niece.
fucking drama aside and
This
go
is just
after that dude.
devastating that I have to go through this
That's
for
the
the rest
common
of my life,
enemy.
and knowing I'll never have the embrace of my niece. The, hey TT, what you doing? When you coming down here, you know, I'll never get to hear that from my baby again, and that's what kills me the
Well,
most.
so you had really nothing to lose,
I
alert.
just wish that when I was down here last, that I had just taken her to Indianapolis with me, so this would have never happened. A lot of things, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but
I wonder if it has anything to do with, like, this show. With this fascination with serial killers and criminals that, you know, that have groupies all over this country and world. Look at Luigi.
at the end of the day, I just really wish that whatever happened and whoever did this, y'all didn't have to do that to her.
And right now, Sanika says right now what she needs from the community is emotional support. She says she's seen a lot of GoFundMes being posted right now online, but she says that's not helping, as right now they've heard from the funeral home who is going to help pay for the funeral services, she tells me. And coming up as well, I do have something with the grandmother who says she had a wonderful relationship with Kimani, but she tells me that the county's been to her home more than once. The reason she said that is coming up at 6. Reporting live in Toledo, Silver Barker, WTOL 11.
We learned today that Kimani was a 7th grader at Spring Elementary in North Toledo. Students there were in...
Maybe I heard him wrong. He said 7th grader at elementary school. Not to nitpick or something, but...
mourning over the loss of their fellow student. Michael Sandlin joins us in studio with more on her background at school. And Michael, I understand Spring Elementary was especially important for her.
Well, Jeff, according to TPS leaders, for a long time, Kimani struggled to find a school that worked for her. She was in and out of 6 different schools and often struggled with behavioral issues. But she found a home at Spring Elementary, developing a positive reputation, even making it on the honor roll. TPD sent out this statement, writing, quote, "The students and staff at Spring Elementary are saddened by the loss of their friend and classmate, Kimani Lateague. Counselors were at the school yesterday and again today to help students and employees cope with this tragedy. The district's 2 therapy dogs are also at the school. Kimani will be remembered as being very personable and someone who got along well with others." Now, we also caught up with a classmate of Kimani's who we found holding up a sign honoring her lost friend outside of her school. Now, with permission from her mom, she told us about who Kimani was to her and how people at school felt today following the news of her death.
She was like smart, and then she used to do her work. Sometimes she used to show me how to do some of the works inside my classroom because I didn't understand it. I've seen some people crying and stuff, a lot of people crying. And then people just like not talking how they usually talk, like talking kind of sad and low.
Now, Fisher tells me she hopes Kimani is remembered for her kindness, something the school actually planned to recognize. Kimani was set to win a kindness award later this week, an award she now will never
So is
receive.
90% of Ohio.
In studio, I'm Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.
Having conversations with others, especially kids, about Kimani Lateague's murder can be difficult. Megan Hartnett joins us in the newsroom. Megan, how should parents navigate talking about this with their kids?
Kaylee, parents should be aware of what social media and what information their kids are consuming. There are tons of posts and news articles about Kimani and what happened, but not all are factual, and some may have more information than a kid can handle. Representatives from the organization Parents of Murdered Children tell me parents should meet their kid at whatever level they can handle. I was also told it's important for parents to reassure their kids that this is an abnormal situation. No one should force their kids to talk about it, but parents should be honest with kids when they ask questions.
You should never put them in a situation where they feel like it's none of their business. It is. You know, they're going to live with this the rest of their lives as well, and they need to be treated in a way is dependent on their maturity level, and just keep, telling them you're always there for them.
Representatives
You're
from
the one that
parents
told
of
me that,
murdered
Yeti.
children say school counselors are great resources for kids to have when navigating what happened. And it's important to let kids talk about this with their friends. Reporting in the newsroom, Megan Hartnett, WTOL.
That's just fucking insane. The more and more I listen to this, found out about it like less than an hour ago. So naturally, I dropped whatever I was doing and I went over and switched to this show. I was about to show you some Jasmine Crockett shit and how Israel is the problem. Israel is our problem and will always be our problem. But that's for another story. This is for, well, now let's listen. What just happened? Now we're going to listen to an interview with both her
Obsessed, and they didn't feel as if
grandmother and
Welcome
her
into
aunt.
WTOL.
Where's the mom? Where's the fucking mom?
Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Sophia Pericone. We continue to track details about the disappearance and death of 13-year-old Kimani Lateeg. First, we go to the latest on the investigation. We're working to gather more information about a shooting in Columbus this morning that may be connected to Kimani's murder investigation. The president of the Columbus Fraternal Order of Police says a man who was shot by SWAT this morning is wanted for a murder of a teenage girl here in Toledo. However, neither he nor a spokesperson for Columbus
Yeah,
Police
dude, I
would
couldn't
confirm
believe
if
Jasmine
that
Crockett was 43. I found out, I was like, no, it's not possible. I even had to look it up.
man is Darnell Jones. Here's what the FOP president had to say.
When I heard about this case, this was an individual wanted for homicide out of Toledo. I called my union counterpart in Toledo. I said, hey, good news, we have your guy. Your guy committed a murder, chose to fled to our town. I'll tell you right now, the wrong town to come to if you murder somebody. Our SWAT team will go out looking for you.
We are working right now to confirm if the man shot this morning is Darnell Jones. He's wanted for the murder of 13-year-old Kimani Lateeg. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. And just a short time ago, our Silver Barker exclusively interviewed Kimani's grandmother and legal guardian, and then Kimani's aunt. Here's what they both had to say.
So my first question for you, yesterday, lots of things was going on. We want to know specifically at your home, there was a lot of speculation online that you were being arrested, but when we checked with police, that was not the case. So can you further clarify on exactly what did happen yesterday at your home?
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but if I was going to do an interview like this, whether I was a reporter or the person being interviewed, I don't know if I'd want to be in the location where the shit happened. It's just me. Because I probably would have burned it down by now.
Well, I was called and told that there was a mob of people in front of my house. They were angry. It was more or less the people that were here earlier.
No, man, that was her
waiting
mom's
to see if it
boyfriend
was
slash
Kimani that was
husband.
in the home. And
did it.
Basically, some people from the neighborhood had contacted me and said that there was a mob in front of my house, and they were talking about what they were going to do to me once I came home. So the police, the detective, said that she would have a unit come out and help me get my things and more or less escort me off the property. I asked to be handcuffed just so they can get the away from my property.
That's
Are you scared?
So no, I was never arrested. I was taken downtown, but I was never arrested.
Are you scared for your safety right now?
I am.
Makes sense. She said so earlier in the reports.
What are some of the things that you've been hearing and receiving from people?
They said they was gonna blow up my house. They said they was gonna do harm to me. It's just been a barrage of different things that they've been stating.
And now
It's that knee-jerk reaction, like people don't wait for the official facts to come out, whether there's proof or not. They just, it's lynch them. Can I say lynch? Oh fuck! What is it called when you find a white guy and just beat him up, and you're no, never mind. That doesn't continue.
Let's backtrack first for a little bit. So you are the guardian of Kimani, or you were the guardian of Kimani, correct?
I am the legal guardian of Kimani.
Okay.
Oh,
so
where's Mom?
In terms of taking care of her, when was Kimani placed under your care?
A year ago.
So you take care of her.
She's been in my home for the past 5.5 years, but I just obtained legal custody of her a year ago.
Were you and Kimani close?
We were.
What were some of the things, trying to think of her and paint a memory of her in a good light, right now with everything that's going on, what was Kimani like? Tell me a little bit about how Kimani was in the time that you've got to know her.
Kimani was phenomenal. Kimani was a helper. Like, she was older than what she appeared to be. Like, you know how they say somebody has an old soul? She was that. She loved older music. She loved playing video games. She loved the friends and family that she was allowed to be around. She played basketball for Spring Elementary. She was highly intelligent. So I'd like to clear up the mental issue statements. No, she was not mentally ill in any way.
Oh, the report was she went to
had
6
her,
different schools because of personality clash.
They didn't feel as if anything was wrong with her mentally. So that was not a issue. But back to Kimani, she would, like, say for instance, someone would come over and they had children. They didn't have to worry about their kids because Kimani immediately embraced them and would play with them, kid stuff. She was phenomenal. Like I said, she was like no other kid her age.
What school did Kimani go to?
She went to Spring Elementary.
And we were told that at that time she was doing good in school as well too, correct?
She was. She had brought her grade point.
If that's her guardian, and where was she picked up from? The house? Then where was she? I'm confused. I'm not blaming this lady, but that doesn't make sense. And if the school let them pick her up, then that's also on the school. But I don't think that one's the case. I mean, I get it. Maybe she was home alone. I don't know.
Point average up from a 3.4 to a 3.9. And, actually they were going to have an award ceremony for the basketball players today at 5:30. But when I divulged to them that she had passed, they've rescheduled it. She was going to receive her trophy for being, on the team and stuff.
And she has a birthday that's coming up, correct?
Her birthday is Friday.
Oh, shit.
She would have been turning 14.
She would have been 14.
Did you have any plans for her birthday?
We were going to have her a large birthday party because it would have been her first birthday where, once again, all of my children were together and could participate in the party. Her mom was supposed to come and everything. So I asked her early on, what type of party do you want? She said she wanted a basketball themed party. So that's what I bought. Things that revolved around.
So Mom is not in jail. I have so many questions.
Her playing basketball. I'm still receiving stuff in the mail for that.
So there's been some confusion now in terms of when it comes to family, who's her biological father, who is her biological mother, and then also was she in the foster care system? Can you clear up a little bit of all of that? When Kimani was placed in your care, when is the LCCS, who exactly did she come from and how did she?
She came from her other legal guardian. I choose not to state her name, but she came from her other legal guardian because the other legal guardian and I were best friends. The other legal guardian is my daughter, Kimani's mom, godmother. And we had already discussed early on, because she's been with this person since she was 9 months old. My daughter has never really had custody of Kimani.
Oh.
So she's been with this person since she was 9 months old until, like I said, maybe 5.5 years ago. Now, off and on, this person, we would interact and, you know, do different things with her, for her, or I would contact her and tell her, well, I need this, or Kimani would like that. And she would come by and oblige, and we would commence. It's just too much.
Earlier you mentioned when you were talking about what Kimani was like, you know, you had mentioned that when family members did come over, who were allowed around her. Can you expand on that? Is there family members that weren't allowed around her?
No, it's just not very many that came around, and those that did, you know, she acted, as far as I'm concerned, she acted accordingly. She embraced all children, bad or good.
I would have said the same thing, Zip, but she is an angry black woman, an older angry black woman, and she's mad. She's mad. She's fuming right now.
Okay, next question.
So now we do know that Darnell,
Look at the face.
you know, people are looking for Darnell Jones right now. The police
She's
are looking for Darnell
mad.
Jones, and there's an arrest warrant out for him. Do you have any idea of his whereabouts?
Oh, well, to my knowledge, he was just arrested in Columbus. He just recently had a shootout with the police in Columbus. They're saying that he confessed to her murder, and no, I take that back. They're saying that he confessed to her rape and slitting her throat.
Don't forget the hands.
How does it feel to learn that?
I can't even say.
You know, as the police report mentions, Kimani was last seen with Darnell. You know, do you have any regrets of letting Kimani go with, as you're her guardian, do you have any regrets of letting Kimani go with Darnell?
Wait, what?
I do, only because, like I said, I feel deceived. I feel like this was pre-planned.
What? She let him go? Or her go with that guy? What the fuck? This just took a turn.
I feel like you meant to do this. I feel like you was grooming her.
When you say grooming her, is there things that you saw before this leading
No,
up?
I never saw anything out the ordinary. But when molesters decide to choose prey, they groom you first. So they give you gifts. They try and make you comfortable with them. They try and say little things to you that you and they can keep secret. And then eventually they pounce. And that's how I feel that, oh God, how all of this is played out, I feel that's what happened. She was a virgin. She didn't like boys.
There's also comments, and we're just
There, it's coming out.
address those and get those addressed, but there's comments online and speculation again that, you know, Kimani, her home situation, she was abused. What do you have to say to that?
Okay, abuse in whose eyes? Because she was not abused. Yes, she was chastised whenever she was wrong or did things wrong. Other than that, she was not abused. She was not just whooped for no reason or just because I felt like it.
Oh, this is getting weird.
I've went through this twice because the school system had contacted CSB on her behalf when she went to Bennett Academy. And they came in, they did a case study and closed it.
Bro. What if this was a coordinated effort to include this lady? Because it sounded like all of them she was a burden on them all. Holy fuck. They're all guilty.
stated, there's a way to chastise children without physically harming them, and you need to whoop them on their behind, nowhere else. So, okay, with that in mind, I knew that. So she didn't have like bruises all over.
How long ago was that when they came into your home?
No, I don't trust this bitch anymore.
I
You're
would
right,
say the latest, it was approximately 7 months ago.
And so you say the latest. So was it a few times that they came into your home?
It was twice total.
So twice total that they came into your home. Check. Okay. And it was all for like you mentioned, what you just said earlier.
Yes.
Explaining. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in terms of, this whole situation, so you were not arrested, correct? And that's
Correct.
what, a lot of people seem to think as they saw you going out in custody. That's what you asked for, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so my first question for you, can you tell me your relation to Dorothy?
I'm Dorothy's second oldest daughter. I'm Kimani's aunt. My name is Sanika. I live in Indianapolis. All this that is going on is it's devastating. You wouldn't think that,
Wait,
you
just
see it happen around the
all
world,
the
but
way
when it
from
hits close to your
Indiana?
heart, you really just be thinking like, did I do something wrong? Did I fail her?
That's
She
also
didn't have
weird.
the life to live that we have got to grow and live. She was only 13. So to know that somebody that I trusted, which was her father, to come through and deceive us just to get to Kimani in some sexual way or a harmful way, that hurts me to the fullest. And the point I feel like I failed her. Me as being her aunt, a person that she could run to and tell
that's
anything
nonchalant.
and everything to. That was my girl, that was my baby. And to hear all of this, to know all of this, and to be going through all this and hearing it for as long as that it went on, it's very devastating. I see so many people that are supposed to be my family that's going against my mom and me for that instance, and saying like, oh, she failed her, she had something to do with it, she had this and that. It doesn't matter at this point. For right now, and until we get justice for Kimani, it's all about Kimani.
All right. No doubt that the dad did it, in my mind. I think it was on purpose by all of them. The more and more I hear them talk, and the fact that CPS has been called on the mom or her guardian or whatever, twice for whoopings on the butt. I don't think Toledo really cares about spankings like that. Just saying.
What I would like to say is there's a lot of people on the internet starting GoFundMe's, and that's not what we need right now, because it's not what Kimani needs. The funeral home has objected to say that they're going to come and pay for everything, so there's no need for any GoFundMe pages, any of that. Everything is being taken care of that needs to be taken care of by her family, her immediate family.
Does it upset
Her
you
mom?
that there are GoFundMes? Some of them, I think, in cases might be scams too as well that are going around.
What upsets me is that people are starting these GoFundMe pages and putting Kimani's name underneath it, and they know that it's going to get viewed, and people have sympathy and feel some type of way about that. And some of them can be scams, but I know some of them have come from family members. Just let the immediate family handle that. Like, what y'all gonna do with the money if y'all not turning it into the funeral home? There's no need. Let us handle it. Y'all just sit back and give us the emotional support that we need. That's what we need right now. As a family, as a community, we should all come together and just give each other the emotional support that we honestly need. And that's just what I asked for everybody to, calm down, breathe. I know this is a hard time, because it's not just a hard time for y'all. This is a rough time for me. I just need y'all to come together and understand that we need each other as a community, as a family, and emotional support is what we need the most in this situation.
Community, you're from fucking Indianapolis.
Yesterday, you were here, I'm assuming, the crowd was very upset, lots of emotions going through too, especially at this time with such a sensitive situation. We've heard multiple comments out in the crowd, attacking or pointing fingers at your mom. So, what has it been like trying to be her support system and helping her out.
In a way, you have to be mature enough to decide, am I going to follow along with the crowd or am I going to, you know, stick around with the loner? I'm to the point where I'm not following nobody. I'm going with what's right. If it was your mother, if it was your niece, would you console your mother? Would you console your, you know, the person that was closest to her who lived with her? I'm not out to have a torch in the
Oh no, I'm finding the
pitchforks
murderer
and all out
first.
to go against anybody except the person who did this, which I believe was her father, Darnell. I don't have any other anger pushed towards anybody else. I'm angry that this happened, but I'm angry at the person who did this.
Do you know if, have you been in contact with Tiara, the mother?
Yeah, I've been in contact with my sister.
Oh.
It's been briefly. It's been over through text. Like I said, I live in Indianapolis. I seen her yesterday, but that was very brief. It wasn't even more than 5 minutes. It was more or less that she wanted to show me my other niece, Kazaria, which is Kimani's youngest sister. But it wasn't like it was oh, sis, what are we gonna do, any of that. And I don't wish this on nobody. I really don't. I could, you know, your mind go different places when it's a baby. That was a baby. Like I said, I have a very close relationship with Kimani. She was a tomboy. She wasn't out looking for, you know, trying to be fast or, you know,
But you were always
mischievous or
in
any of
Indianapolis.
that. So for her
so
mother to come
confused.
down and have all this to say and all that, Tiara, where was you for the past 4 years? We haven't seen you since Kimani TikTok party.
TikTok.
You haven't called her. You haven't sent her anything. You haven't said, oh, baby, I'm going to come get you for a weekend. We haven't seen you until this happened. Why we got to see you when it's a tragic moment? So, Tiara, where do you stand?
And Tiara lives in Cleveland, correct?
Yes.
And so the past 4 years, you're saying...
When is she gonna hit the waterworks?
Very, very minimum. It wasn't
trying.
even, she'll call my mom. She'll go through me and say, have you talked to mommy? And I'm like, no, about what? And she'll say, oh, well, she got custody of Kimani and she trying to get child support from me. So it wasn't that Tiara was concerned about Kimani. It was more of the why she want child support from me.
What is the relationship between your mother and your sister, Tiara?
It's very distant. They had their words. They fought. Kimani mother has a godmother that Kimani was with before my mom got her. And there was no communication then from Tiara. I feel like Tiara just let her go. Because any mother would be on her toes to get her children back. That wasn't the case here. It just wasn't.
When was Kimani...
So they knew the mom was a piece of shit, but she's gonna the aunt, what guardian? I don't know. Can't remember what the fuck she's related to her. Thought it was okay to, you know, just let her go with her mom's boyfriend / husband, whatever the fuck he is. Now, does that make sense? Or am I just high?
When was Kimani taken away from Tiara?
I'll say about 7-8 months, and then Tiara godmother stepped in and got custody of Kimani, which would have been around 9 months. Yeah, and Kimani had been with that lady from 9 months all the way up until about, I say, 5.5 years ago. So it wasn't like Tiara
And you
was
still
actually
thought it was
in the
okay
picture.
to let her hang out with the guy that's her boyfriend / husband. Tell me how that makes sense. I bet you can't.
You know, saying, hey, maybe I can start getting myself together to get my child back so nobody else can get her.
Have you ever worried for Kimani's safety with any of the family members or anyone?
I wouldn't say I was worried because I was here. I was here. Every winter break, spring break, holidays, birthdays, I was here for Kimani.
Every holiday?
Yes, you come and you enjoy time with your family, but I was here for my niece. I also brought my youngest sister and her 2 kids from Indianapolis to be here for Kimani because we've been in the system before. So I know how it feels to feel like, dang, I'm at somebody's house or feeling not wanted. I know those feelings. So I tried to give Kimani that at all times because she wanted and loved by her aunt. And this is just devastating that I have to go through this for the rest of my life and knowing I'll never have the embrace of my niece, the hey TT, what you doing? When are you coming down here? I'll never get to hear that from my baby again. And that's what kills.
I don't believe her. I don't believe anything she says. I don't believe anything the mom says. I don't believe anything the guardian says. There's something fishy about this whole fucking situation. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh my God, it's all the dad. Yo, there's too many fucking factors that, well, we had this, we knew this about this guy, we knew this about the mom, but you still let it happen. I feel like it was a big thing because nobody wanted to take care of her anymore. No lie.
Kills me the most. I just wish that when I was down here last that I had just taken her to Indianapolis with me. So this would have never happened. A lot of things, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but at the end of the day, I just really wish that whatever happened and whoever did this, y'all didn't have to do that to her. There's plenty of people out here with, grown people that put themselves out there to be, the sex workers or whatever it may be. You didn't have to do this to a child. There was nothing that Kimani would have done to make you hurt her. So she was a very timid kid, tomboyish, reserved. She wasn't, loud and out there. So it's just devastating that me and my family have to go through this.
Is there anything else that you would like to add at this time in the interview? Anything else that I didn't ask?
Yo, you think she ran away? Think that's a possibility? But it seems like everyone is still, like they all had something to do in this. Every motherfucker they've interviewed so far.
I just want people to understand that family is family, and at the end of the day, don't be so eager to go against your family. Talk to your family and talk to the children. These children may be scared to talk to the parents about things that's going on or what may be going on because they feel like they may get in trouble. But make it known that to your kids that you can talk to me. Make it very open. You can talk to me about any and everything. Because that's what...
If this was an isolated incident, what the fuck is she talking about? You could have talked to me. There it is. It's happened before. Holy shit. And y'all knew.
What these kids need to hear nowadays, instead of going on social media and talking to somebody over social media about it, like he did this or she may done that. Talk to your family because they can handle. They're the adults that's supposed to handle it. So yeah, and it's forever Kimani.
And to be clear, right now, Darnell Jones has been charged with murder, abduction, and felonious assault. There have been no criminal charges filed regarding any sexual crimes at this point. We also just got information about Kimani's cause of death. The Lucas County coroner says she died from multiple incised wounds of the neck. She was pronounced dead shortly after noon yesterday. We'll have much more on this breaking story.
Oh, they forgot the hands being cut off. Yeah, they forgot that part and the rape. Well, listening to that, because I just caught a brief IG post from somebody that sent me, Zippity. And I wanted to look into this a little bit more. And I saw this interview, and I was like, you know what? This would be a good insight on, who she is and what the family, knew or didn't know. But I think I got a little too much insight. Maybe my intuition's wrong, but it's not. I feel like they all have something to do with this because they were tired of having her around and her being a problem in my mind. Think about it. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just morbid. Maybe I think everyone's guilty of something. But in that case, I think they are. All of them. Mom, dad, auntie, guardian lady, godmother. No, were you listening to them? Mom was bad. She was rarely around. But you know what? The guardian was like, you know what? You can hang out with your mom's boyfriend / husband / we don't know if he's your dad, but he's your dad. Bro. This has a fucking first 48 written all over it. But it took him a week, so close enough. Sad situation. Maybe even a sadder, broader plan. Or not. Just a dad that needs to be strangled with piano wire. With his hands super glued to his head. And with that piano wire, I want you to wrap it extra tight around the neck and throw him off a bridge. But make sure you tie off the piano wire because you don't want him to fall. Right? Safety first. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's what I have for you today. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. I still want to expose Israel. And Zion Don. Get it? Zion Don. Ma! I'm not telling y'all how to think, I'm just telling you to think. And that was a story that I felt I should not have held till tomorrow. So it was almost instantly. Zip can tell you. It took one message, and then I was on 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, would you say, Zip? Yeah? Yeah. Anyway, hope you have a good rest of your night, and I believe there's more drama for you to get back to your regularly scheduled programs of the evenings, and I will continue to smoke weed. Yeah.